me have milk with drinks, so you know. Just that. Karen. Yeah, man, and if you stop by you, I have a cold jelly same way.
Beyond variety, Shabba explains that cleanliness and presentation are key, creating a space that is both inviting and trustworthy for customers.
Just keep clean and just, you know, my fruits are always clean, you know, you know, till me have your food and everything. So, you know, clean so people to have clean food for it and everything. So we just keep it clean. And you come and you want to find Shabba, just come right at the tomb there. That's the Shabba. And then me go at the crossroad. There's the high school there.
Next.
Need to estimate your duty? Perform a track and trace? Search for a declaration?
Then download the Jamaica Customs mobile app today. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
12 p.m.
Thanks for joining us for CVM News at Noon. It's Tuesday, January 20, 2026. I'm Amoy Harriet. Up first, a Hanover laborer who allegedly raped and robbed a female homeowner in Lucy on New Year's Day was arrested at the weekend. He has since been charged with rape, assault at common law, and simple larceny. He has been identified as a 21-year-old Tayshaine Anglin, also of a Lucy address. Now, reports are that about 8:20 or 8 p.m. on New Year's Eve, the woman locked up her house and went to bed. She was awoken about 3 a.m. on New Year's Day by sounds coming from her bedroom. The victim told police officers that she saw Anglin standing over her bed. He held her at knife point and allegedly sexually assaulted her before escaping through a window with cash amounting to over $61,000. A report was made to the police and a manhunt was launched to apprehend the accused. Anglin was arrested on Friday and later charged. He is scheduled to appear before the Hanover Parish Court early next week. And 18-year-old Dwayne Williams, a laborer of Sioux River, Richmond in St. Mary, has been charged with housebreaking and larceny following an incident in his community on Friday, January 16. Reports from the Port Maria police are that about 8:30 a.m., a relative of Williams locked her house and left. Upon her return, she observed that the door was open. Checks revealed that Jamaican $829,000 and $300 US were missing from her house. A report was made and an investigation launched. Williams was later apprehended in St. Andrew. Now, a total of $741,000 Jamaican dollars and $300 US was found in his possession. He was subsequently charged and his court date is being finalized. The reconstruction of the Trelawney Infirmary in Falmouth is currently underway after the facility was destroyed by Hurricane Melissa. The $150 million project is the first major reconstruction initiative being undertaken under the National Infrastructure Reconstruction Agency NIRA program. Local government minister Desmond McKenzie, who toured the construction site recently, said the development is being carried out in phases with $65 million already allocated for the first phase.
This phase of the work is to provide residence for the people who lives within our infirmaries. We are going to be putting down a number of self-made containers. We're doing now the groundwork, putting in the base, and then we'll be putting in the concrete structure. And once that is done, based on what the contractor said to me, that within another week and a half, they'll be ready to start the pouring to put the concrete base, so that by the end of January to the second week of February, we will be putting down the containers and to do the work that is required to make it possible for us to do this, and I want to make the point that Trelawney is going to be the first parish to have seen this kind of reconstruction.
As Jamaica continues rebuilding after Hurricane Melissa, questions are being raised about why usable construction debris are being dumped instead of reused. Speaking on CVM's lead story on Monday, Program Director at the Jamaica Environment Trust, Justin Saunders, said Jamaica lacks the policies and standards needed to safely rebuild using recycled materials.
We're at the point now where we have systems developed to first sort the waste that's coming through, because if you go into any parish that has been severely affected, you'll notice that the waste isn't uniform. As a country, we first have to get very familiar with sorting our waste, because if we sort our waste, we can then determine how do we process and manage what can be used, how do we test the durability of what's left, and then how do we build with something and then test its durability and safety over time.
Now, hundreds of thousands of Jamaicans had their home electrical systems damaged during Hurricane Melissa. Months after the storm, many households are still dealing with losses and unsafe wiring conditions. But as you'll hear in this report, the Jamaica Social Investment Fund is now helping residents in Western Jamaica safely restore their electrical systems as they rebuild.
Several government and private programs have been launched to help Jamaicans rebuild their homes. But for many households, electricity remains a major challenge. Hurricane Melissa left thousands of homes with unsafe or incomplete wiring, while countless others still face rewiring and certification hurdles before they can be safely reconnected to the grid.
Most of you, all of you, had water 5, 6, 7 feet or more in your houses. What that meant is that your electrical system was compromised, right? Once water gets into your electrical system, it is compromised. I can tell you, even in my own house, I've had some situations that the wires are burnt out from water getting into the system.
It's why the Energy Ministry has allocated $1 billion Jamaican dollars to the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF, for the implementation of the National Energy Poverty Reduction Project. The project will help with minor repairs of homes to ensure households can be certified for electricity, as well as house wiring support to 1,800 households, government electrical regulator GER certification services for 5,300 households, and the provision of selected social services to 3,000 residents identified through electrification fairs. Amar Sweeney is Managing Director of JSIF.
To our National Energy Poverty Project to provide the resources and the contractor to really come out here with licensed electricians to do an assessment, provide the cleanup necessary, replace what needs to be replaced, and recertify your homes to receive electricity.
The project, which began in December, will be in place until March 31 and will involve a consultation with members of Parliament to identify and select beneficiaries.
What we want to ensure is that once you are trying to restore your lives, your refrigerator, your TV, other things you're using in the home are not damaged by the electrical system. Okay, it's a hidden risk that all Jamaicans affected by the storm need to think about.
I'm Moy Harriet for CVM News.
Despite assurances from the board of the University Hospital of the West Indies that the slew of procurement problems highlighted in the Auditor General's report will be rectified, the opposition continues to raise concern. In a 10-minute video posted online, spokesman on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, outlines what he insists is widespread mismanagement and corruption at the hospital. As Carla Ramdeen reports, Dr. Dawes is calling for systematic reform.
Dr. Alfred Dawes says the Auditor General's report confirms what doctors and staff have known for some time. Failing infrastructure and ignored complaints are putting staff and patients at risk. The opposition spokesman on health says it's not just that the hospital needs more resources, but resources allocated are not being properly used. He points to the Auditor General's findings that the hospital cannot produce procurement documents for 51 contracts worth more than $521 million, which makes it impossible to verify how public funds are being spent.
The same report exposed the misuse of the hospital's tax-exempt status to import goods for private entities, depriving the state of millions of dollars in revenue. So while doctors are begging for basic supplies, functioning beds, defibrillators to save lives, and safe spaces to rest, hundreds of millions of dollars are flowing through a system that cannot even produce the paperwork to show what was bought, from whom, and why.
Dr. Dawes is also blasting the hospital's management for buying expensive equipment without plans for maintenance, while ignoring urgent requests from staff.
When a hospital designed for 579 beds is admitting 120 to 150 emergency patients per day, what does that look like? It looks like patients lying on trolleys in hallways, family members standing for hours because there are no chairs, nurses trying to monitor multiple critically ill patients simultaneously because the wards are overflowing, and doctors making impossible decisions about who gets the limited ICU beds available and who they must let die.
The shadow minister warns that the crisis at the university hospital is not just a Jamaican problem. The hospital trains hundreds of doctors and specialists who serve across the Caribbean. He reasons mismanagement now threatens regional healthcare, medical training, and the country's international reputation.
When UHWI struggles, when it loses credibility to procurement scandals and governance failures, it doesn't just affect Jamaica. It affects the reputation of UWI. It affects the ability of Caribbean medical graduates to secure residency positions internationally. It affects the willingness of international partners to collaborate on research. It affects everything.
Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
It's time now for a break. Stay with us. More when we come back.
Hi, I'm Landy. Welcome to NLA Connect, the National Land Agency's customer engagement platform. NLA Connect is a simple, user-friendly platform designed to help you share your feedback, get support, and updates about land-related matters. Available 24/7, NLA Connect allows you to share suggestions, comments, and commendations, submit queries and report issues, attach files with your requests, track requests and get real-time status updates, connect with NLA client engagement officers, and provide feedback on the service received by the platform. We're making it easier for you to connect with us. You can access NLA Connect via our website, using the kiosk at any of our offices, or scanning the QR code displayed at our locations. Need any help along the way? Check out our FAQs section. It has all the answers you need in one location. NLA Connect, your voice, our priority.
Ashman's Equipment, the new name in forklift sales and rentals in Jamaica. Top quality, low prices, fleet discounts available, 12-month warranty, free service parts, daily rentals, crazy cheap. Ashman's Equipment, same forklift, better deals.
Every dream conquered is another dream gained. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction, 'cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard, and the music hits I play, and the people them I say we are my show tonight.
Welcome back to CVM News at Noon. Farmers in Holland Bamboo, St. Elizabeth are this afternoon lamenting the cost to repair cow pens as authorities move to impose charges for captured stray cattle. This follows growing complaints of stray cattle affecting motorists. Now, farmers say depending on how many days their cattle have been captured by pound officials, they can be fined up to $25,000. They argue that with roof replacements already unaffordable since Melissa, the expectation to fix cow pens now is just too much.
Depends on how much they stay in there, the pound.
So from day one, like how much that range from?
Well, like one?
Yeah, like if your animal run for 1 day, how much you have to pay if you hold on its feet?
25,000 for feet. So if you do depends on how much day. But normally if you miss your cow, if you look for your cow and find you have to go and look if I run in there.
So if you run for 1 day, you grow the female same day, 25 grand?
No, you have to pay a little extra on it.
To other news now, defense attorneys are now presenting their closing arguments in the Noel Maitland trial in the Home Circuit Court. Constable Maitland is on trial for murder and preventing the lawful burial of a corpse in relation to the July 12, 2022 disappearance of Donnelly Donaldson. Donaldson was last seen alive at the Chelsea Manor apartment complex in St. Andrew, where Maitland lived. Trial Judge Leighton Pusey is expected to give his summation thereafter, after the defense's final argument. Now, following the summation, the jurors will deliberate and return with their verdict. During closing arguments on Monday, the prosecution raised the question of why the policeman so hurriedly got rid of his couch shortly after his 24-year-old girlfriend went missing. Director of Public Prosecutions Claudette Thompson reminded the 7 jurors in the case that July 13, 2022, the day after Donaldson went missing, was when Maitland decided to carry the couch to the car wash for cleaning. The police did not get access to the controversial couch throughout their entire investigation. Now our reporter Akeem Orit is in court and will provide us with the latest details later on in CVM News at 7. An Auditor General's report published last week shows, among other things, that over a period of several years, the University Hospital of the West Indies abused its tax-exempt status, costing the country millions of dollars in lost revenue. The hospital also breached procurement guidelines on multiple occasions and did not submit audited financial statements or annual reports for 6 years. Joining us now is the Principal Director of the National Integrity Action, Dr. Gavin Myers. Good afternoon, Dr. Myers. All right, it appears we're having some connectivity issues there with the NIA Principal Director. Dr. Myers, are you hearing me? Dr. Myers, are you here with us this afternoon? All right. All right, I can hear you, Dr. Myers, faintly. Thanks so much for being here with us. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Talk to me. What for you were the most concerning revelations from the report and why?
Well, for me, I think what is most concerning is what seems like a systematic breach. What looks like over time, generally a loss of confidence in the procurement systems of the Universal Hospital. And for a branch government to have this type of egregious breaches over time, it shows that something has gone very wrong with the systems. And the systems are so wrong there, you ask the question of, okay, where else? And with organizations are things going bad. It's like, you see it, how does this happening? And people not see it. That thing, the first, but there are other parts to it.
All right, we are having some audio challenges there with Dr. Myers. We'll try to get in touch with him, but let's head to a quick break. More when we come back.
Great moments. If you have financial needs, Chris and Charles will fix them for you. Power in great moments since 1992. Oh, we have it all. St. Charles. Oh, we have it all. When you think loans, think St. Charles.
The road to recovery after a disaster is never an easy one. The National Housing Trust stands ready to support you with hurricane relief initiatives to help you recover stronger. With our peril insurance, payment relief moratorium, hurricane grants, and low interest rate hurricane relief loans, we'll help you restore your home and rebuild your community. Visit our website or your nearest NHD branch for further details. Conditions apply. NHD, the key to your home.